Yo, 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 what is up, y'all? My name is Rob Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And in this video, we are once again talking about college hoops, and we started off March in the green. Very solid day with our bets that were just straight bets on Saturday. We went 7-5 against the spread, and man, UTEP, every single day this week, I feel like there's been a game where we've just gotten hosed in the final few seconds. UTEP up double digits at the 6-minute mark in the second half. It goes to overtime. They build up another lead, and then they lose because they missed a layup at the buzzer. And it's just one of those things. You know, our biggest bet of the day yesterday was Kent State. That comes down to a made free throw late, and UTEP today. But as you guys can see, our record didn't finish 7-5 yesterday either, because we also went 1-3 officially now on our Big East regular season futures. We had St. John's to win the conference, along with a few other teams that obviously, fell short because St. John's was the future that hit. And that was the only conference that we actually placed regular season futures in. So it's not like there's a boatload of, Prophet or Red coming down the stretch here. That was literally just a standalone one because I kind of wanted to be on the opposite side of UConn and Marquette in that league. But when you are looking at this Sunday slate, we have a really great Sunday slate. Also, if you haven't already checked out the ASUN tournament futures and the Sun Belt tournament futures, I highly, highly recommend doing so because those are going to be kind of instrumental to us making money here in March. And I showed these numbers on those futures videos, but I'm going to share it on this Pick'em video as well, because this is our record over the last 2 years from March to the end of the season, specifically in college basketball. It doesn't take into account, Major League Baseball records or anything else like that. This is what we've done. This is where we make our hay, and a lot of it honestly comes down to leveraging our futures in those conference tournaments. So make sure you go over there and check out those videos. I promise you will derive a lot of benefit from it. But with all that being said, I'm ready to hop into Sunday's picks, but first, we do need to take a second to shout out today's sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. And yet again on Saturday, we hit a 6-1 payer right out the gate by 1 p.m. Central Time. We had a 6-1 ticket cashed in our laps. Very, very nice. We've hit 4 out of our last 7, and we're going to have another one here on Sunday. So make sure you're going over to Underdog, signing up using promo code RobDFB, and also make sure you're following me on Twitter/X at RobDFB so you guys can keep up with those bet slips as well. But with all that being said, y'all, I'm ready to hop into these Sunday picks. All right, first up, we are heading out to the Missouri Valley Conference where we have Indiana State taking on Southern Illinois. And Indiana State, as of late, over the last 5 games, they've kind of played the gauntlet in the Missouri Valley Conference, and they deserve a lot more W's than what actually they ended up with because they kind of collapsed late in a lot of these games. But I will say when they were collapsing late, there were 2, opponents that were better than them just in general. And in this matchup here on Senior Day, finally back at home, taking on a team that I know that they're better than, I am all over the Indiana State Sycamores here. So let's go ahead and lay the 2 points with Indiana State for 3 units for our first bet here on Sunday. For pick number 2, we're heading out to the MAAC where we got St. Pete taking on Marist, and we covered against Marist. So a lot of data points. If you've been following this channel, we've been betting a lot against Marist because Marist has a very glossy looking record. They're 20-6 now. The last time we bet on them, they were 20-5, and they were catching points against a 12-15 Sacred Heart team. And when you're looking at this matchup here against St. Pete, St. Pete, they're 10-15. They're going up against the 20-6 team in this conference, and the spread is set at 4 points. Again, we know that the analytics don't like Marist, and I think there's a lot of good reason to that. They kind of have a paper tiger resume. They really didn't play a lot of tough teams out of conference, and that's what's kind of ballooned up or inflated their lines all season and really just, I guess, inflated their win-loss record on paper. And for that reason, I do think that St. Pete can potentially win this thing outright, and they're getting those 4 points. I say we take them for 2 units for our second bet here on Sunday. For pick number 3, we're heading back to the Missouri Valley Conference where we have Murray State taking on Belmont. And Belmont is another team with a pretty glossy looking record that we've been betting against quite a bit this season. And we've also had some mixed results betting against Belmont, but I feel like I do have a pretty solid handle on kind of who they are. They're a team in the middle that's catching lines, or laying lines rather, of a team of a top end sort of deal. And I don't think that's what they are. They haven't been playing like that. I think they're a lot more of a brand coming over from the OVC over the past few years than they actually are a good program right now. And when we're looking at Murray State, very similar deal, right? You know, a big brand coming over from the OVC with Belmont. But I do think that Murray State is actually the better team. And although this is at Belmont's home gym, I feel like this line is a pretty good indicator of how this game can play out. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take the 2.5 points here with the Racers for 2 units for our third bet here on Sunday. For pick number 4, we are heading out to the Big Ten, where we have a game between Illinois and Michigan. And Illinois is an interesting team because they played some really bad basketball over the last 2 weeks. And then last time out against Iowa, I thought they caught a really favorable line based on that bad play. But I don't think they're a bad team. And I do think they're going to be playing a lot better down the stretch. And I think part of that also comes into play with, you know, they were dealing with injuries. They were dealing with the flu bug. And then, you know, they play Duke, a high-profile team, in Madison Square Garden, and they get housed by what felt like 50. And I feel like that's actually going to give us a lot of value betting Illinois. And Michigan is coming off of 2 back-to-back pretty crazy emotional and physical close games. And Michigan honestly just plays close games. That's kind of been their MO. They've won a lot of them, and I credit a lot of that to Dusty May and just the ability of these veterans to actually nail shots in crunch time. But I think Illinois is going to be right there when it's all said and done in this game. And in this game, they are catching 3.5 points. I say we take every last one of them for 2 units for our fourth bet here on Sunday. For pick number 5, we're heading out to the American, where we have a game between UAB and Memphis. And this is a fantastic game between 2 of the best teams in this conference. And when you're looking at Memphis, we have bet against them a few times over the last few games, and we have been making money, you know, kind of betting against them because of the lines that they are laying. And a lot of that just kind of plays into, one, the Memphis name, but also the 23-5 record also comes into play here as well. And I do think this line is suspiciously short when you factor in that Memphis kind of housed UAB the last time these 2 teams played. But what I think it speaks to is the fact that UAB is a team that can put up points, can run with Memphis. Maybe they can't shoot the same level of threes that Memphis can, but I do think that UAB's offense is more efficient and can translate better in a game where the pace is going to be off the chain. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and take those 2.5 points with the Blazers for 3 units for our 5th bet here on Sunday. For pick number 6, we're heading out to the ASUN Conference Tournament. And again, if you haven't already placed your futures in that conference tournament, go over to our video. And guys, I promise you, we will make some money in this conference tournament, or if not this conference tournament, just conference tournaments in general. We always do. It's 100% worth your time. I think it's under about 10 minutes, the entire video, and you can even kind of skim through it and just pick the picks and go about your day. But when we're looking at this game here between North Florida and Austin Peay, I really like North Florida to advance to the next round, and a lot of that comes down to their guard play. And I really think that when it comes time to, you know, the conference tournament season, it comes down to your guards and who can kind of just drive to the hole when a shot needs to be made, who can create a 3 when the shot needs to be made to maybe force overtime, or to tie the game late, and North Florida fits that bill perfectly. They have played down to a lot of their competition as the season has gone on here, but they also have played up to a lot of competition as well, and I do think that with the kind of win or go home style of bracket play here, I think we're going to see the best of North Florida. So let's go ahead and take them on the money line with a little bit of juice here for 3 units for our final bet here on Sunday. All that being said, I really want to thank you guys for checking out today's video. And if you do want to show some love, make sure you drop a like in the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment down below. But with all that being said, y'all, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.